In a lonely corner of the desert, an old man lay resting inside his small mud house. One stormy night, there was a sudden knock at the door. He sat up, startled. The knock came again, louder this time. Annoyed, he shouted, "Do you want to break the door?" "I'm coming." But when he opened it, he froze. There stood a young, beautiful woman, drenched in rain, clothes clinging to her trembling body, eyes full of fear and exhaustion. Her hair was tangled, her lips shaking. The old man frowned. "Who are you? What are you doing here, alone in the desert?" In a weak, shivering voice, she said, "Please, let me in. I have nowhere else to go. I want to stay with you." Confused, he stepped back. "Stay with me? But why?" She didn't answer, only looked at him once and walked in without permission. The old man, named Faqir Baksh, stood speechless. Then angrily said, "How dare you enter my house like this? If anyone sees us, they'll talk? A young woman living with an old man." Tears welled in her eyes. "My name is Nisha," she said. "I got married 2 days ago, but my husband died suddenly. His family called me cursed and threw me out. When I went to my parents, they too shut their door. Saying my home was now my husband's, I begged them, but they pushed me away." Faqir Baksh's anger faded. After a pause, he said softly, "All right, my child. You can stay here for now, but if anyone sees us, people will talk." Nisha nodded and quietly sat in a corner. The rain had stopped, but her clothes were still soaked. The old man gave her a blanket. "Take this, you'll catch a cold." The next morning, Nisha made him tea. He was surprised. "You made this?" She smiled and nodded. Days passed. Nisha began caring for him, cooking, cleaning, massaging his tired feet. She treated him with warmth he hadn't felt in years. At first he kept his distance, calling her daughter, but slowly, that word began to fade from his lips. At night, Nisha would sit near him as he slept, silently watching his face in the dim lamplight. It was as if she were searching for peace in his presence. Once, she asked, "Do you like having me here?" Faqir Baksh looked away. "Yes. This house feels alive again." Her eyes softened. "Then please don't ever ask me to leave." And he didn't. Their bond deepened, not of desire, but of quiet companionship. Two lonely souls finding shelter in each other's silence. But soon the villagers began to whisper. People passing by saw them together and spread rumors. One day, an old woman came to his door. "Faqir Baksh, people are talking," she said sharply. "They say you've kept a young woman in your house?" He replied calmly, "I gave her respect and shelter, nothing more." The woman smirked. "Respect. Or something else." He closed the door, but her words stabbed deep. Nisha had overheard everything. That night, she said tearfully, "If my being here brings shame to you, I'll leave." Faqir Baksh shook his head. "No, Nisha, you're not my shame, you're my honor." "Then make me yours," she whispered. "Marry me. Let the world stop talking." He hesitated. "I'm old, Nisha. People will say I took advantage of you." "People are already talking," she said. "But I only care about you." After a long silence, he nodded. "If that's what you want, then yes, I will." The next day, in the quiet desert, without witnesses or ceremony, they became husband and wife. The desert wind was their only witness. Nisha cared for him with even more devotion, cooking his meals, mending his clothes, talking with him under the stars. Faqir Baksh, who had spent a lifetime in loneliness, now felt alive again. But time doesn't stop. One day he fell ill. Nisha stayed by his side, wiping his forehead, praying for his life. He whispered, "Nisha, if I'm gone one day, promise me you'll live." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Without you, life means nothing." He smiled faintly. "Love means sacrifice, and sometimes separation." Days later, his condition worsened. On his final night, he said weakly, "You gave me life. Nisha, you were my last happiness." She held his hand tightly. "You're my everything." With a faint smile, Faqir Baksh closed his eyes forever. Nisha buried him in the same desert where they had first met. Every day she visited his grave, placed fresh flowers, and whispered, "You are mine forever." And when the desert rain fell again, it mixed with her tears, telling a story that love never dies. It simply changes form, becoming memory, becoming peace. Because true love doesn't see age or rules or fear. It just happens and stays forever.